Astralis will be on the T side.
It looks like a Rocket League thing in his avatar. What is
him.
that?
It is E-League.
Behind his head.
E-League.
Oh.
E-League, yeah.
I've been
Rocket E-League.
All right then. 3 people around the IV position for NiP. 2 in B. Rez is close with the CZ, and he's got a smoke grenade, which is cool. If he can, I wonder though if he's holding the smoke grenade out. I don't think he is, no. So we'll see if these smokes are able to come into action. He's better use it now. Nope, going to take the gun out. He's got himself 1 kill, and a lot of information for his team.
Yeah, right, looking to get some pot shots going there from the longest of ranges, but he doesn't get anything. But his teammates are slowly getting the rotation going. So that's half the battle won as far as CTs are concerned. I get the rotation in, get your bodies into the yard, and it's working out magnificently. The numbers here trying to crush onto the Astralis defense, of which now there is nothing left. It's been ground down to nothing but dust, and that's going to be the defuse for Get Right. Pretty comfortable round for NiP, and the very standard, probably the most standard sort of pistol round you're going to see on a train.
Yeah, exactly. Like hit B, a couple of players there waiting for you. It was interesting considering his position that he had the smoke, but put himself in a spot where he would have to fight like almost right away, risk dying, and also giving up the smoke. So wonder why Rez did that. Could have just gone for an HE, for example, and then used that to nade up the ramp if he was expecting for people to come down. And didn't really matter though. NiP came in on the retake, very simple stuff. Everybody running down ladder through the smoke might be able to make some ground here.
Indeed, they're getting pretty close, and Forrest can have multiple targets, which means multiple bullets coming his way, which means he's probably going to go down and he will. But 2 people, could have been more. You see Get Right and Exist, heavily tagged, but crisis averted, and they continue on. So I wonder, do you remember when Pimp was on Liquid and they tried to make him a sniper?
Yeah.
I wonder if Astralis will have the same thing in mind, with Device being on the bench for now. Well, not on the bench, but you know, unwell
to play. Yeah, I was thinking that exactly the same thing. Like, how do they handle that? And then I started to think, you know what? Actually, this is just such a perfect storm for NiP, because obviously, you know, we see that big result from them. Their form has definitely jumped up, and they just barely have a chance to make it. And they're able to perform yesterday really well. They had a big comeback on Cobblestone against VP, and then now they're playing against a weakened Astralis. So it's really all the stars are aligning for NiP. It's crazy. Imagine if they make the finals and win. What a story that would be.
It's a really hard role to fill. Of all the roles that you could, you're taking like your star player and Offer and having Pimp come in. And if you have one person come on a team, it should be that person to be like, give me whatever roles that you don't want. But in this situation, it's like, who's going to take Device's role then? So I feel like they have a real problem here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Train may be one of the more manageable maps, though, for that. Device likes to be around the IV position, looking towards main on the CT side, so we'll see how that comes into play later on. For now, Draken has a nasty surprise coming his way. Is he ready for it, though? Holding one position forever can make you a bit slower in reaction. And Glaive will take him down. More action towards the IV position. Smoke's obscuring the vision of NiP. And a bomb is wrapping on the A side. Get Right's in trouble. He'll get insta-traded from behind. Now Forrest has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, the Silence and 4 not coming to the rescue just yet. It's Rez. Bursts into the smoke, and perhaps this exists. Finds himself a double there. That's really awesome. I think he was around the Olaf position and just able to get a really good angle there for a 2-man spray down, and then we have another round going in the favor of NiP. And yeah, I definitely agree. Like the major dilemma is, you know, when you go into that CT side, because I honestly cannot think, you know, who like whose role you want to. You don't want to change anybody's role really. So it's kind of like Pimp just has to try to play Device's positions, and that's going to be interesting. We all know how hard it can be to play AWP around Ali. I'm sure Pimp has must have some level of experience doing a similar role, if not the same, at some point.
He's probably spent a fair bit of time studying Astralis of all teams. But yeah, like Astralis have one of the most stringent systems. I think that this would be one of the most intimidating teams to come into and try to pug with.
Yeah, that makes sense. NiP as well with their Imperious form. provide quite the threat, and we'll see whether or not Astralis can get the ball rolling here. Obviously on a save at the moment. And NiP, you know, it's interesting from their perspective too, because they will, you know, they will see this and be like, okay, well, this is 100% a weakened Astralis, but we can't let that play into our minds. Like, you never want to let that affect how you play. You just want to try to play good fundamentals. Maybe even emphasize, you know, your fundamentals a bit more, just to feel out a little bit the offense. In this case,
Draken on point, always nice to see. Getting a bit close though.
oh wow.
Okay, okay, what the hell has happened to this round?
Oh, oh my
What
god.
in the blazes? I do wonder about the repositioning of Draken there, because he left himself very exposed to main, strafing with an AWP, looking towards Pop Dog, so that was questionable. But how on earth did that what just happened?
And it couldn't have happened at a worse time. It actually just could not have. It's like that one sort of fragile moment where the CTs get some kind of a safe-ish round to build economy, to be ready for those hard-hitting, like fast AK rounds, and now it's just they've just been crushed.
And NiP were saving. So, or sorry,
Astralis.
were saving. Yeah. So there's a bunch of free money there.
It's absolutely insane. One Deagle and one CZ, it can change everything. It's nuts how good both those guns are.
That was one of the weirdest turnarounds I've ever seen.
It's cray.
I mean, we saw Draken run into no man's land, but then in 2 seconds, everybody else died. It's very, very bizarre. But the Pistols have been doing a lot recently, as we saw in Oakland, as we continue to see today. And how about that round? Stock Pistols for NiP. Creeping in. That's very frustrating for Glaive. Okay, we may have a reversal of fortunes here, but Dupree,
Whoa.
that second kill is monstrous. Holy crap.
How did that even land? That reminded me of the shot we saw from Snacks with the Orb yesterday from Cobblestone on the APC, where he sort of flicks in towards the bomb site and like shoots through this massive wall and someone gets a wall bang I've never seen in my life. That's like what that shot reminded me of. That's ridiculous.
Remember that Peter wallbang from Z?
Okay, it looks less ridiculous now.
The one into ladder? Peter from Complexity? That was here, right? I think so. He was in Z, he wallbanged through Z to ladder, and they never dropped down ladder again after that, in that half.
Yeah, okay. That would have been a long ass time ago. Well, the NiP side have a buy again. They don't have utility though, and it's already early into the rounds. They're going to have to rely on the AWPs. Get Right's been lost going aggressive towards T main. And now it really comes down to the AWPs, but that's going to work out pretty damn well actually. Forest with a great peek onto Dupree, again expecting the position and nailing the shot.
I love nails.
So does Wonders.
Yes. And it looks like right now, Astralis' coffin is full of them.
50 seconds. Astralis playing it slow. Slow down. I just want to get to know you. Not much sound being given away from Astralis. Pimp is going to be the messenger boy with the bomb. The bomb is the message. Where will its head?
Oh! Exist. Oh my god, he's won the round. Just like that. Suddenly, that is ridiculous. Glaive will get the kill, but he's very low and the bomb is down in a precarious position. He's got to go collect that, and that's going to burn time. He doesn't have much of it. 13 seconds, and is someone going to be watching the ramp? Surely someone's going to be checking for this. There it is. Forest on the angle. Great round from Forest, but beautiful timing from Exist. You can see the positioning was pretty key there. Obviously, there's a big difference if Exist is standing further back or if he's standing close up, and that's a clear choice that he has made. Likely for this reason.
Nice.
It's kind of a demanding angle for Pimp because he can come out the top of the ladder up the side, and he has to look down at the right angle, and then you're limited at how far you can look down because your crosshair gets locked. So I mean, it looked bad, but it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. And I think the main offer for the match will be D3. So apparently, he said that he will be opting.
I mean, that makes sense. It's just that on the CT side, then you lose his team main and pop dog aggression, which is he's so good at.
Yeah, you kind of lose 2 players instead of 1 when player A takes over player B's role. Ooh, who's going to crab walk first? You guys like crabs?
I like snow crab.
It depends what kind.
Have you eaten crab sticks before?
No.
Launders, crab stick man?
I think so. It's like the stuffed with the bun.
It's a crab stick. Have you had a crab stick before?
It's like a deep fried claw.
No. That's not a stick, it's a claw.
Oh, well, it's stick shaped.
I want to buy you some crab sticks.
That's how you score yourself some free crab sticks.
Astralis desperately seeking information. Rez has had quite enough of this nonsense. He'll get himself an AK. Death by paper cuts for Astralis in this round. The last 2 remaining players. Looking to 2 versus 5. They've been heard. So what can he do in this situation? It's looking somewhat painful for Astralis with 4 of their 5 players. Sepek's close to a 007. I mean, there's not much to say. These are like really long, drawn-out rounds at the moment.
Just hanging out, just having a time.
Lots of static.
Hanging out in the toilets, in the showers. Oz 5-2. NiP managed to stabilize somewhat after a very sort of tumultuous situation, losing to just a complete save round to 1 Eagle and a CZ. And that's great as well. I mean, those are rounds which can be quite tilting, and they are rounds which can really emotionally affect players because you build up that expectation. We get the money, we get these good rounds rolling in, then your expectation gets crushed by a Deagle, then it feels bad. But I think NiP, they've definitely made some strides with how they handle their emotions. I think Jens, we saw that obviously he's had some pretty important impact on the team, and coaching there from the psychological angle.
We need some hood commentators in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So someone can be like, Pium! And Pip is playing. That's a real Pium. How's my accent? Not very good.
Yeah, you could be the hood commentator, James.
Nice.
I thought you were.
Kind of I wear many different hats.
The Thug Jesus of Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
The Thug Priest.
Thug Priest.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, we in America, we love our Jesus.
I wouldn't go as far as to describe myself as Jesus, but a priest will do.
As you say, the Thug Messiah.
There's still time to level up though. 4 against 3. Astralis has now got a pimp on the AK. One of the 2 CZs has gone, including the bomb. That is a disastrous pick for Astralis. No one else is near us at the moment. Again, another slow, long, drawn-out round. Astralis is praying for a mistaken misposition from NiP. I don't know how that just happened. So there is revenge for Rez. 1 versus 2. 18 seconds for this bomb to go down. Repositioning towards Ivy, but not fast enough to stop the plant. So the bomb is down. Rez has a kit and a Molotov with his AWP. Oh, he gets his bell rung immediately by Sepek's barrel, gives his position away, as well as the sound. And Astralis win. They're winning the rounds when they don't really have much going on. They started that round with many a pistol, and look what it's done to NiP's money again. Let's put them right on the edge.
Yeah, I think in that round as well, it's sort of showing the power of what a late lurk in alley can do once you've gotten a couple picks. Even just 1 pick affects the CT rotation and setups just in a massive way, because it's sort of like a very intricate sort of series of angles and crossfires that you have when your setup is 5 as the CTs, and as soon as you lose that 1 guy, you have to sort of contract the defense pretty massively, and it really opens up alley. So if you have someone playing lurk and can find a good timing like Pimp did there, it just completely can crush around. At least that's a better way to lose a round, at least than versus a CZ and a Deagle on the stage. So there is that.
It seemed like a round ago that NiP were just going to run away with this half, and then Astralis do kind of the same thing, but they win pretty heavily in their default, every kill going their way. So now it's kind of a whole different situation. They get what should be a free round, however, an AK has been forfeited. Ivy control has been taken from NiP.
Ooh, where is number 7, Rez? I think he's in main. The bomb is a bit far back from the B players, but there's no one around ladder. Importantly, Rez is on the flank, but the bomb's going to make it into the site. That's the most important thing. So, crisis averted, perhaps. Dupree will hold a long range and drop the bomb to play with an AK, so they don't compromise their position. But look at NiP now. If Rez goes slow enough, he won't. Then NiP had some good positioning, but of course, they don't have good weaponry. Astralis will put a stop to this eco push, and NiP are back on the buy. This is a difficult train for both teams, it seems.
Yeah, it's not all that straightforward, apart from the pistol round. It's not really been all that orthodox. I suppose that's to be expected with standing, at least for Astralis, but NiP, they need to tighten things up a little bit. We've seen some really solid CT sides out of them recently. You need to see that again. Draken's been definitely very good lately. It's the flick, the finish from ECS. Good team play there. The 1-2 combo. And now Astralis finding themselves in a 3v5, looking to take more 1v1s. It's just not going to work out.
Oh, the bait. I love the setup on Ivy, because the AWP is put in a crazy position, and Draken is a crazy style AWPer. And that's a massive bait for Pimp to try and go wide, gets tagged regardless, and the support is there from NiP. And then they have another bait set up with another AWP over towards the B-bomb site. Works perfectly, and they put Astralis at the arse end of their economy once more.
It's really awesome when you, as a CTs, you get like you win that first fight, and then the Ts are thinking, oh, we have to pick our way out of this round. Yet you have 2 AWPs. It's really not what you want to be doing against double AWP. But and it works out amazingly for NiP.
Ideal situation, 3 AKs and 2 ops. That's about as good as it gets. And yeah, their setups are really cool. They have the two inner, 2 IV, and even if Astralis play 2 per spot, both of them seem to get killed even just trying to trade 1. So quick maths, the numbers add up.
This time there's no support for Rez, but he will deliver the first kill. There's one player moving towards the connector. He'll get 2 kills out of that. That's maybe all you can ask for in this situation. Pimp trying to give his team as much space as possible as they try to get the bomb down. Glaive finding some information. There are surprisingly CTs around the connector, but that's the bomb eliminated. No plant for the Ts. Trying to thin the numbers perhaps with their own thinned numbers, but won't happen.
Yeah, that was a really interesting idea, because of course Astralis, they understand that NiP are running double AWP. They know this. And yet they decided to play a really fast contact towards inner instead of, let's say, trying to use their utility, which is the conventional response. How do you feel about that choice, Launders?
Definitely executing inner is like a great move when you know the other team has 2 ops. Instead of limited mobility, inner is super retakeable, and obviously it's put them on a save, which should be an easy round for NiP. Rez is going out and searching for as many kills as he can find. But yeah, inner's like the best site you can go to. And it seemed like in NiP we're happy, content playing 4-1, not even using get right and spools or any kind of bait setup.
It works if you have another gun Dupree.
How's he going to capitalize on this?
Aha! They pick this gun up again.
What was that noise that you just made?
That was the aha! Yeah, you know, throwing the fake flash. Now I need to pick the gun up again.
I thought you were trying to be a pirate.
Yeah, when a pirate finds gold.
Oh, right. Oh,
I thought it was like an R.
I guess I didn't. Maybe I should have. Maybe I just didn't commit enough. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Dan has commitment issues. I feel like that was a James joke.
Yeah.
I'm absorbing you guys.
It's gonna go away. You have to be like both parts of the act at some point. It's like perfect assimilation. I've assimilated TTMS. My name is Launders.
It's perfect because I'm brown. I'm like right in the middle.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so.
Right in the middle of what? I'm not like jet black, am I?
No, but...
I'm mixed race, dude. You're not in the middle of anything.
So am I. I'm half Malaysian.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're proper brown, though.
Yeah.
You're a brownie.
Yeah.
With
Can't put me in a box, James.
Less sugar. I'm more of a kind of tan beige. I'm like the Air Force Ones, but just a bit darker than the wheat.
Always got shoes in the mind. One of those Yeezys drop in.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Dan's like, you know, kind of Indian. He's kind of Indian. He's a bit Indian. He's a more of a chicken korma than a Jalfrezi.
Excuse me?
Well, NiP, it's been a super slow round, a lot of sitting around, and Garrett will get picked off. And the execution of a set piece will arrive into the A side, but they may not go with it. They may actually just go for the B play, try to use it as a fake. We'll see what the intention is. I've seen the bait out some grenades, and indeed they'll go straight into the A side actually. So, entry frag made by Glaive on 2exist. A 1-for-1 here. Forest holding the green train position pretty effectively, and that's going to cause Astralis to be rerouted into the B sites. Where Rez is with the orb. Oh my god. Well, Draken's there to help out.
Rez searching for someone, but they will position themselves accordingly. Astralis. Draken, though, he's creeping past Pimp, but he's made a sound. He's jumped, but Pimp hasn't heard it. And he's Glaive in a 1 versus 3. Dropping a flashbang, trying to make his way in. It works out. No one covering Draken from this angle, but Rez will eventually trade, and round will go the way of NiP.
Very patient round from both teams there. It does feel like Astralis, it's very difficult for them to find an approach that's going to be something that works out. In fact, in reality, the fact that they won that pistol round in the way that they did, it has. If you consider that they only have 4 rounds at the moment, it really has gone kind of a long way, because they may not get more than 4 or 5 rounds. Like, I don't think we're really seeing. There's 2 rounds left in the half. NiP have reached comfort with their double orb setup. We're not seeing really the most ideal responses to the double orbs. And Rez, he's in trouble. Still going to hit the shot though, but let's get right to get the 1 for 2.
Always need that second kill. That is a really good 2K from Exist. Been playing well recently, Exist. He'll be happy with that.
Whoa.
That's an interesting. Well, it is he's going into the last rounds.
That's BM, man. Can't be doing that.
Can't be lighting dead bodies on fire.
No. Yeah, Exist and his rifle game has always been something that's been impressive. It's actually, for me, awesome to see when Brett took over as an in-game leader as well, because it freed up Exist to be more of a fragger. And I think at that point he really did actually show people as well that he can be an absolute monster with a rifle. It's kind of crazy how good he is sometimes. Forest thinks, let me take this jewel.
This is going to have some entertainment soon. He is changing the channel. Now the TV's exploded. 3-on-3, Zipex would love to pick up one of these weapons. He has Rez maybe keeping an eye from Connector of the AWP on his position. The bomb moving away from Ivy as Zipex goes on a fact-finding mission towards B, and Rez has gone through Connector, looking towards B. So it seems NiP have a good grasp of what might be going on, what is possible in this round.
Bit of information from Gerard. He'll spot that there's nothing going on at Ivy. And Draken, obviously, he's got a pretty good catch-all position. I'm not sure if he saw... Oh, he did get the spot, and he catches their head as well. Beautiful shot on the single scope. The flick shot will whiff, but the information is there for his team, and he's going to keep at it. That's beautiful from Draken. Those are the shots that you can be confident that he'll hit. Now Pimp hits the green train. They don't know where he is, but they do now. 2 1v1s for Pimp. Now it's down to Rez. He's been very consistent on the AWP so far, and there's nothing that Pimp can do. 11-4 NiP stabilize.
I think we saw right there is a scoreline that makes sense considering the sub. We have a situation where the default for Astralis was a 50-50. Most rounds it really didn't work at all, and on those rounds they also didn't do a lot of damage. So that made it so that NiP got more ecos out of the half, and then there was some plants that went down that allowed them to stay in the game. They won an eco round, and in total they got 4 rounds. So overall, pretty lackluster. There were some spots there, but obviously it sucks that they don't have more time to practice with them.
CT pistol will be very important for Astralis. If they get off to a good start here, then who knows how far they can go. Pim trying to fuse the range on the high ground, but not quite making any fatal connections. He has support as well, but they are the targets here. The numbers game working out for NiP. No, the second swipe from Forest. Cheeky knife from him. Glaive running out of bullets. Still getting the kill on Draken. Still alive. Still untouched. Somehow 2 versus 3, very doable, especially with all these 3 players quite tagged. Res on the site though. 1 bullet is often enough in a pistol round. That leaves with dupreeh with a lot of work to do. Trying to avoid getting traded in this situation. No kit though, so surely he can't do this.
It's actually unfortunate. Glaive had a smoke. It's on the floor, and I'm not sure if dupreeh is going to be able to find it. Not sure if he's looking for it. Yeah, he's got it now. Yeah, he's picked it up. Now he can use that to pressure the bomb. That's what he was after. No kit, but that's going to force the tease down, because they have to spam through the smoke. He could just be going for the hold, and maybe there is a kit. But it's NiP with the kills, and around there they'll take the T-pistol. Something that Astralis were unable to do. It's not a good look for the Danes, unfortunately for them. Oh, I can't believe the timing for Astralis. It's just so insane. The timing for both NiP and Astralis. It's like great for NiP and really bad for Astralis. I mean, they were 9-5, but if they lose these 2 maps against NiP, they go 9-7, which is where NiP currently are as well.
It's been a bad Movember.
Indeed. Slight bit of info there for the Astralis side, as I believe Zipek's got a spot. Into a player moving in to the halls there. Playing really slow. NiP's sweating them out a bit, but they're not making really any aggressive moves. So the default from NiP is sort of come to a head now, and it's time to decide where to make the plays.
NiP getting into position. Oh, that's a nice one shot from him, and Zipek has delivered a delayed in the meantime. But maybe that is all exists. Vulnerable to the scout if it gets into position. dupreeh above his train, as you can see there. Searching, seeking. Forest taking some damage. This is dangerous now for NiP. ECS has a Molotov though, but how far will Get Right commit? He can hold this angle. There's no kit on these players. It seems they're going to wait for the beep beep. ECS can't go too deep though with this molly because dupreeh is watching. There's a molly high and a molly low. That's going to waste a lot of time. Get Right is just waiting, and Glaze picks up an AK, but he's the one defusing the bomb, so there's no range to stop Get Right on the low ground. The trade is there, but surely the round is won.
They've done enough. Another round for NiP. Yeah. Although, you know, to lose 5 players is kind of huge, actually. So there is a window for Astralis.
With no money left over, they're not all going to have great buys, but they also know that Astralis... Actually, Astralis might buy here, because 4-13, NiP drop 5. It's a 4 set for them, but they know that a couple of players, if not all of them, are going to be on a half buy or not having AKs and everything they want. It's not exactly true for NiP, but it's still going to be tempting.
So get the pause there from Astralis to work out what the hell they're going to do in this round. They know that NiP's economy is going to be absolutely smashed if they win this round. So definitely good to take a timeout and think about how they're going to approach it. Especially considering that they are on 2 scouts, an MP9, a Deagle and an M4. Their buy is pretty awful. So it would actually be awesome for them if NiP did decide to go outside. Like a fast outside round perhaps. To get those scouts into play.
Double scout. Well, see how far Rez gets without being tagged. Ooh, could be 3, could have been 1, could have been 2. Ended up being none. Down they go. That is a very important 2 quick kills. Ooh, that's a great shot from dupreeh, but what more can he do with it? Through the smoke. It's a painful loss for Pimp, and this might be the death knell for Astralis on train.
There's a bed of nails in their coffin.
You missed this, James. It was when you were away.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
had
right. You weren't
yeah.
here.
Yeah. So we'll see how Astralis do, and then we'll enlighten you. You'll be enlightened. Well, it's not really all that much to get here if the NiP just don't peek all that much. Well, Draken's going to peek and get a kill, so fair enough. Smoke from Draken. He is actually just insane. He is completely insane. 14-4. It's turning out to be quite the fast game between these two teams. So essentially, I think somebody said something about like they used the idiom. It's the last nail in the coffin. Well, no, they didn't actually, but somehow it came up, and I said that it's a pet peeve of mine when people say that's the nail in the coffin. So the idiom is actually the last nail in the coffin, which is the entire point. It's like the straw that, the final straw, you know, that breaks the camel's back. And then Launders start talking about nails all the time.
Well, Pimp has tried to slow down the entrance into the B bomb site. Oh, Rez is in trouble. Bad timing for him, and NiP have abandoned ship. They will look for a fresh dock. That makes no sense. They've abandoned the ship. No need for a dock. They could swim to the dock.
I didn't question it, James. You just have to keep going.
Forreston exists with 2 AKs. Astralis are ill-equipped at the moment, but they have the numbers advantage, and they're spreading out. There's a minute for the bomb to go down. That's important for NiP because Astralis have many of the plant angles covered, especially with Glaive in this position, and he'll get an upgrade for his troubles. That leaves Forrest alone. He's being teased by Kiabi. That's going to waste a lot of time. Still doable for Forrest, but we are asking lots of him.
Oh my god.
That's not fun. Surely he's going to get shot through the smoke. Down to the glass. And the fun is over for now. Astralis stave off match point, but for how long?
Since you like mentioned what you said makes no sense, I've just been constantly thinking about it now, and it does. It is sort of like the opposite.
Yeah.
Thing that makes sense of what you said.
You might want to swim to the dock.
Yeah, but you don't need to look for a new dock.
Just need someone to.
A new.
What
I meant to say. What I meant to say. I was going for like a new mooring for a ship, but if you abandon the ship, you've got no ship to moor. So, kind of messed it up.
You kind of need a dock to put it in if there's no one there. As well.
You could just park it on the sand.
A mooring. A mooring is not necessarily a dock, FYI.
What is a mooring?
A mooring is a place where you would park, if you will, since I don't remember a proper term, your boat, temporarily or permanently. For example, on the Thames, on the Thames, right? They've got these floating buoys, as they're called in America, and you can park your boat there. Let's say a mooring has a dock which is open. Certain times of day, you can moor your boat on one of those buoys while you wait for it to open, for example. That's some practice manoeuvres there on the good old River Thames. I'm getting my boat's license. 5 for both teams. Pimp spray transfer, but no kill. Astralis though, they still have a man advantage for the time being. Zipex playing tight angle, has to reposition, waiting for a trade fragger. And there's another one. But he's done good damage for his team. But can he get into the bomb site? Molotov will be smoked off immediately by NiP. That's unfortunate for them. That will allow the CTs to make their way through.
Draken and get right. Draken's been having a good game so far. Full HP for that next fight. Now he's alone. He's got to win all 3 fights. That is going to be painful. The Draken catches another, just flying across the rooftops of the trains, and if he gets the last, he will. He'll pop the final head, and Draken's done it.
0 bullets. Last bullet. He actually feigned the reload. I don't know if he canceled it to be able to take that shot sooner, but that was nice. All headshots.
Boom. What a G. Draken's having quite the day so far. That's definitely a good sign for NiP. They're going to get some round difference here as well. This could be some very nice, juicy round difference. We're able to get the win of this round.
So what Rez was doing at top ladder is W scripting.
Oh right, yes.
Kiabi has the bomb. Glaive running distraction, but Get Right was smart enough to hold the angle. He had expectation and he punished it. But Get Right's alone. Get Right is alone. He's picked up the bomb, doing some pretty jumping. And now he's dead. He died. Money sucks for NiP, so Astralis, they've got some rounds to win here. They need to get rid of that bloody scout though. They would love an opportunity to wield an AWP in this half.
I like it, NiP going absolute 100% full save. It's really, really, really good. When you are really ahead. Well, when you're in a position of 15 rounds. It should always be the priority to think about how many buy rounds you can get out of the remaining rounds and then play for that.
Yeah, it's an interesting argument that it's pointless to, in this situation, invest anything into this round. You just want to win a round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that being said, sometimes a flash to get to increase your chances of getting a plant, for example, could be nice.
Dupree's going to spot the masses and he'll die, but it's a good amount of damage and stopped NiP from bursting onto the B side. I don't know that there would have been much success, but Stars will try to finish him off here. Jack has picked up the FAMAS, but he can actually do some more damage, and obviously, again, you know, to be fair, as mentioned, it has been a bit of a struggle to have an AWP on the CT side, so some additional damage would be cool, but again, not really a priority. 15 rounds anyway. And there we go. Finally, it's over. We can all think about the next round now. Still not enough money for an upgrade for that towards the AWP. But it will be... Is a pimp sticking to the scout? I saw he just dropped an M4 there. Gets to a teammate.
Smith used to play on I think a 75 Hz screen. I don't know how you snipe. Like trying to snipe on 60 Hz after playing on 144 is
75 is a market improvement. It is a big improvement. We used to play a lot of professional tournaments on that.
But you're saying that
Quake tournaments, which is much harder than CS because the game moves so much faster.
But you're saying that when he just like recently played, he played on 75 Hz?
No, there was a point where when they were on Envy, Hastro had to be like, look, take this bloody 144 screen and use it.
That's insane. It feels so much better, man.
Anyway, the pistols are charging in. Ooh. It's like a refreshing drink. That cool, refreshing drink.
That is a tasty burger. That is a tasty burger.
I had a teammate that would only use 120 Hz over 144 because he felt like 144 was too fast.
Well, that's not a good excuse. I'll take I'm used to 120. 120 is enough because I can believe that argument. You know, that's fine.
Placebo.
Like I played on 144 instead of the 240 when I had the option to because that's what I was used to, and that's still really good. So, oh, snaps the neck of Rez whilst he was airborne. Because it's too fast. Come on, please. Please.
It's too good.
It's too good. That is just, oh man.
The level of smoothness.
Trigger down.
The level of smoothness is too high.
That's so bad.
I prefer a rough image to a smooth one.
Man, there were days where we had to buy bad monitors because that's all tournaments could get their hands on. So you had to play on like 20 ms input lag, 75 Hz at best. You know, downscale the resolution as much as you could. I had to play LAN tournaments on that. And then it was awful because in practice you wanted to use your CRT with amazing hertz. But it's pointless.
I had a... Well, I'll tell you after the round actually. see if NiP can do anything about the situation. Doesn't look like it. Now it's a 2 versus 5. Astralis is slowly creeping up to the score of NiP. Timeout's already been called. Forrester looking for a second entry, and he's going to get it. Very good patience from him. Looking for a third one now. Forrester feeling like he's in a war with his teammate dead on the floor in front of him. But the round is with Astralis. So I once ran a 5v5 Street Fighter tournament on a CRT monitor. And it got to the point where one of the guys who was in it, PR Balrog, he was still in the main tournament. And the monitors he was playing the main tournament on. Let me. Oh no. We had a. No, that's not correct actually. No, I'm not gonna say that because that's not correct.
PR Rog's name's awesome, by the way.
We no, we had a laggy screen that we were playing on, so we had to move it to a CRT. Yeah. They still use CRTs in Melee. I don't know if there's any other fighting games and stuff they use CRTs on. No, but Melee is pretty hardcore. It's old, so. Yeah, but they have the old signal as well, right? They have some monitors that. The GameCubes. Yeah, they have some. Well, people use Wii's, and then they will homebrew Melee onto it because the Melee discs are like $60 now. It's cool that Nintendo have offered GameCube controller support for practically everything. Yeah. You can even use it on a Switch. On the Switch now, yeah. That's insane. It's very rare that you see that kind of awesomeness from a console developer, a console company, but there we go. Yeah, I don't know about how. You've got to respect that. Yeah, I mean, they're awesome and not awesome when it comes. They know how to make a good game. Yeah, let's put it that way. No company's perfect. Well, NiP are back on the buy. Won't be the best buy in the world, but it's an extra buy, if you will. So let's see what they can do with it. How many rounds in a row have Astralis won now? They've won themselves 4 rounds in a row. Beyond the pistol, they've won 5 of 6. It's a pretty good statistic, although they can't afford to lose anymore, obviously. Ooh, flashbang doesn't work out in favour of Glaive, and NiP are charging in. The bomb is elsewhere. The pre-fires are here. Get right. Getting information for Draken. Do they realise Draken is there? Kiabi's looking to find out. Ooh, I think Draken might have been looking towards Pop Dog, which is why he was a bit slow on the reaction there. That might cost NiP. We're now in a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, really doable here. Rez has been looking pretty good. Forrest has been very confident. And they've got plenty of time here, so it's really workable. The main issue is Pimp's position. Obviously, like, you know, where it could possibly be, because that AWP is really difficult in these spots where it's very hard to trade that AWPer, and you don't really have necessarily the utility to just shut them down, so you have to rely upon good positioning, and we're seeing that out of Rez. He's going really far forward here, and by the time Forrest actually sets the bomb up onto that bomb train, Rez has the opportunity to make massive plays.
Yeah, and he plants side of the train, but he risks getting killed because Rez has held with him. Ooh.
Oh no! He's gone too far. Oh, that was awkward. Oh, that's a mistake. Well, maybe unfortunate timing. Won't go as far as to say it was a mistake, but here we are. 30 seconds, Rez. No!
Kind of crazy he thought like he could pull a nade out in that position, but...
You hate to see it.
Yeah, you do.
I think he should have, well, okay, the bomb was going down the right spot, but it needs to go down earlier, obviously. Like, as Rez was clearing stuff, so he could be there. And then if you push in the CT, that's fine. But, yeah, I think once... I guess Rez just needed to stay there because Forrest needed more time to get in the site. Yeah, Forrest didn't know if anybody was on the low grounds. But Rez ran halfway into B, so you'd expect a rotation. But it is what it is, as the favourite saying goes. Pistols again for NiP as they wait for the next buy. Just requiring 1 round. 1 round, singular round. No plurals needed.
Sometimes the loss is the hardest, and it's starting to prove that way for NiP. They're starting to get to this sort of territory where it's like we were having a super dominant game and everything was going really well. To we can't win this game for some reason, and that becomes a problem. And it's another aspect. It's another point in which, you know, it's very key to have like a very good mindset and sort of be very much in command of your psychology in that sense. Where you sort of just say, like every round you play is like you just play that round, and you just ignore the context of it. You just look at what the situation is, what you've seen, and you make the best call. You sort of like, if you can always keep your head in that space, you can just, you probably, I mean, you might not even realize you're on match point, which is a good thing, actually. There's no real value from understanding that you're on match point.
No.
You have to win rounds regardless.
All it does is give yourself pressure for no reason.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really interesting dynamic in that sense. I think a lot of people who have experienced like very intense games where they've hit like that flow state, you don't know what the score is. Sometimes you even forget like who your opponents are. Like it's happened to me a bunch of times. No idea who I've played.
You're just crazy, that's why.
Which is really weird.
You're
You
just
had
insane.
that. I used to have that when I was playing. To be fair, I was playing like 10 hours a day back then, but that's when I had that the most. Who did we just play? It's grinding out those practices, man, on the grind.
We have that commentating sometimes, actually. Forget all the details about the match.
Yeah. Commentating is not a great way to be an analyst. You need to be an analyst as well, separately.
32 seconds for NiP. They've really slowed it down. There are still Molotovs in play. Astralis, one of the best teams at keeping late grenades, as evidenced by that smoke in main. Look at all these mollies coming out the CT side. 20 seconds. NiP don't really have any significant position apart from the ladder room on the entire map, and they are going to conga line out, and Kiarbi might have the jump on these players as he waits for the plant. There's 10 seconds left. It's absolute bedlam. 3-man kill, 2-man spray down for Kiarbi, and that is the round over.
Oh dear.
One lurk play with no time left. All he had to do was sit in the smoke and T-Con. There was pretty much no way for them to know that he was there, and all he had to do was push out. Obviously, he had to hit a 6 spray transfer, but he made it easy for himself. Give himself the best opportunity to do it.
He absolutely did, and now things are getting really weird for NiP. It's starting to get a little bit weird. It's like, alright guys, we need to win a round. It's a lot harder, it's a lot easier said than done to have that perfect mindset we were talking about. We are all human after all.
It looks like Pimp is definitely playing his part. He's at up to 21.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. NiP, what do they want to go for here? I don't think we have really seen all that much in the way of alley pressure, and again without Device in the mix. That should definitely be something where they can find a bit more success than perhaps the Device was playing. Gabby with the aggression here from Inner in through to pop ladder. This is going to be problematic again. Not 2 times in a row. Surely there's one. Can't get the second. His teammate is with him as well. The pressure from Astralis is pretty huge.
Him delivering towards Ivy. Doesn't need to re-peek. Glaver's in position, dancing around the smoke, but that will soon disappear. No answer to any of these kills from NiP. They're running out of rounds to lose at this point. Really difficult stuff. They went for a super slow play in the previous round. They've gone for a super fast play, instantly flanked. What is the solution? Where is the middle ground? Is the middle ground even stable for them?
Astralis are in that awesome position where they have found that, as you say, that perfect timing for aggression, and which creates like these insanely powerful flanks every time NiP wants to go fast. That's really worrying, because how do you deal with that? Because you want to just play slow, because that's sort of what they want you to do. I feel like whatever NiP do at this point, they're sort of playing into Astralis' hands to some extent.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. And I think that they ultimately, okay, well, we've got 1 round left where NiP will have a full buy. I think they've all bought down to about 2K just to make sure they're okay for next round. And this round isn't necessarily over. Gonna run through fire.
And it will not go so well. Forrest will get a frag there and an AK and another consolation kill, but what else can they really find here? Perhaps a bomb can be planted, but Get Right can't grab it. And that's the round for Astralis. They have come back enormously. That is their I think it's 9 rounds in a row.
No one could have expected this.
No.
Not even them.
I know, I don't think. Yeah, it's probably like they're just playing out their skins. Like, we've got to make up for the fact that we've got a stand-in. Yeah, their stand-in is actually playing really well. And and they are actually creating also, like Kirby's really stepped into this game up here.
I think that NiP just needs to like work Ivy, just seriously like work it all the way to the back, try to do some damage. I think going slow is the answer. I think if you go fast, there's only one type of fast you can go, and as long as Astralis molly the choke points, they're always going to beat you, and they have done it already, so they can't really throw that as a curveball. So I think they do need to go slow, but there's more variations with slow that they can go to. I think Ivy will be the start of that, so ladder they can try to take it, but Ivy's what's going to take the longest and the most important piece of map control.
Yeah, I'm so with you there, especially just because Pimp is playing that position instead of Device. It would seem as you know, somewhat of an obvious solution, but this is interesting because Astralis' early round setup, although it's not saying we are completely convinced that it's going to be, you know, a set piece or something or a rush into the A side. We want to play a forward setup from the yard, which weakens Ali significantly. You can see that there's no one on Ali essentially, so NiP can just walk Ali. This is good for NiP. But they have lost a man.
Yeah, they just lost a man. Forrest just tried to catch someone pushing in a ladder off of a sound cue, I guess.
Forrest big play, trying to predict the push, get himself some pre-spray there, but he actually escapes. He does some damage too.
28 seconds for these players to combine with the bomb, which has made its way out of main, and Reza is heading towards the pop dog position, but they need to find themselves some kills. 4 and 4 at the moment. They're putting Pimp in the red, and Glaive is being picked off, so maybe now when the back's to the wall, it's time for NiP to win the round. Maybe not. Oh, Zipex. Oh, he's just a second too late. Doesn't get a kill though. Keeps it a 2 versus 2. Kiabi has the offside split in 2. Nice shoulder peek from him. Spots both players. Pimp really needs to deliver now. And get right, might just move into position, but that's a really important flash. That will allow Kiabi to reposition. Running out of time though now are Astralis.
It's actually getting so intense at the moment. Just one round of 2v2, and there it is, the peak. 2 HP for Draken, somehow barely surviving. Now Kirby dancing around the bomb tree, trying to desperately find something. Gets a solid tag, but they can't get the kills. And NiP breathe a huge sigh of relief as they close down the game, which they should have closed down a long